Welcome back to the Irish Bandit channel, or if you're new here, welcome to the channel. I, as always, am your host, the one, the only, the second Irish Bandit. If you didn't check out Tuesday's video, you can check it out right over there. I'm reviewing the new Netflix series, That 90s Show. It is a sequel series to That 70s Show, which aired from 1998 until 2006, I believe, dealing with the decade of the 70s, from 1976 to 1979. Anyway. Great show, one of my all-time favorite sitcoms. I really enjoyed the first season. I'm not going to say that I loved it, but I did enjoy it a whole lot. But after I watched the entire first season, something just didn't seem right with me. Like, something seemed very off. So I started doing the math, crunching the numbers, doing all of that, and I came up with something. Because in one of the episodes of That 90s Show, they're celebrating Leia Foreman's birthday, her 15th birthday. This is 1995. That would put her birthday, the day she was born, summer of 1980. Something didn't seem right there. After further conclusion, I have come to the conclusion that Eric Foreman is not Leia's father. So you're probably sitting there saying to yourself, well, what are you talking about? They've established right from the very beginning that Eric is Leia's father. Okay, hear me out now. Hear me out. Okay, so think back to That 70s Show. In season 7, Eric left Point Place to go to Africa to teach. He did not return until the very last episode of the series, which takes place December 31st, 1979, as the calendar is flipping decades over from the 70s to the 80s. For Leia to be born in summer of 1980, Eric and Donna would have had to start having sex as soon as he got back from Africa, which means pretty much the night of, because, like I said, I sat down and I ran everything through. I looked at all the numbers. Okay, it's 1995. Leia's 15 years old. What year would she have been born in? 1980. Wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense, or makes very little sense, that she was born in 1980 if Eric returned December 31st, 1979. And I've seen some things online saying, oh, well, Donna and Eric could have hooked up when he No, Eric was in Africa that whole time. He did not come back to Point Place until December 31st. So, which leads me to believe, now, I'm not going to say it's not impossible. It is very possible for Donna to have given birth to a month or two premature. It happens all the time. That is within the realm of possibility. But what I think is more possible is that Donna got pregnant with somebody else's child before Eric returned, because if you went the full 9 months from conception to birth, that would have put Leia's conception in November of 1979. For her to be born around October or November of 1979, for her to be born in the summertime of 1980. Eric did not return to Point Place until December 31st. So that leaves the big question. Well, if Eric's not the father, who is? Remember Randy? After Topher Grace left That 70s Show, Josh Myers was hired on to play Randy, the stand-in Eric is best way I can describe him. I know they didn't want him to be anything like Eric, but he was a replacement for Eric. Let's just, say that right there, because he tried getting in with Donna, and I think they did have a little bit of a romance. I don't know. Season 8 wasn't my favorite season of the show, even though I own the entire series. But season 8 wasn't my favorite season of the show after watching it. But it makes too much sense because they were together at that point. Or I think they were together. They might have been on and off. I don't know. Again, I don't remember. I didn't watch. I didn't care much for season 8, like I said. But the fact that they were together at that point in time, which leads me to believe that Randy is Leia's actual father and not Eric. And I know. People are going to say People are going to say, well, that 70s show screwed with its continuity all the time. And that's true. They did. Like, I mean, I think in one year, like in 1978, 1979, they had like 3 Halloween episodes and like 2 Christmas episodes. Something don't seem right there. So yes, I know that 70s show screwed with its own continuity, really played fast and loose with it. I understand that. But if we, and I know maybe I'm thinking too hard into a show, into a dumb sitcom, but if we put real world logic into this, none of this makes sense. Because, it's like I said before, Eric came back to Point Place December 31st, 1979. So the timing doesn't match up. So that's why I really do think that Randy was the father of Donna's baby girl. It's the only thing that makes sense. And yeah, they could explain it away. And I know there are other things within the show, like Jay Kelso. How old is he? He's supposed to be 15 years old, but then again, the dates don't match up there either. Who's his mother? Is it actually Jackie? Is it someone else? I don't think it is Jackie because he never acknowledged her. Like when Kelso was talking to Red about him, he's like, oh, I got my looks in his mom's brain. Didn't say Jackie, he said his mom. So you would think if she was his mother, he'd be like, oh, he got my looks and Jackie's brains. And so I don't think Jay is Jackie's son, but that can be another time. Another theory that we can get into is who's Gwen's father. I strongly believe that Gwen's father is Stephen Hyde. They haven't mentioned him because of everything that Danny Masterson's going through. So I would love some sort of acknowledgement of Hyde. Even if it's just like they pass by a cemetery and, oh yeah, he was involved in an officer shootout. That seems like something Hyde would do. I don't know. But yeah, they really need to acknowledge Hyde. I'm not saying bring Danny Masterson back, of course not. But they need to acknowledge him somehow, and they need to acknowledge Laurie too. Because they did get another actress to play her after Lisa Robin Kelly was fired from the show. But we haven't seen anything of Laurie since then. So, excuse me. Yeah. But yeah, I really, they could explain it away some weird way. I don't know. But I strongly believe that Leia Foreman is not Eric Foreman's daughter. But what do you think? Do you think Leia is actually Eric's daughter? Let me know in the comments section down below. I'd really love to read your thoughts on this one especially. While you're down there, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. In the description, you're going to see all the ways you can help support this channel. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and Reddit. You can pick up your Irish Bandit merchandise from my Irish Bandit shop on redbubble.com. You can get your copy of my very first novel, Shade Falling, on Amazon. You can get that through either Kindle e-reader or on paperback. And you can buy me a coffee, where right now I have a goal set up where I want to get some new Elgato gear for my PC. That way my game streams look better. If you can, don't hesitate to help out in the link down below. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, tap the bell and you'll be notified whenever a brand new video goes live. I'll be back tomorrow with more Final Fantasy VII Remake gameplay. Oh, loving that game so far. And then next week, I'm going to have more Hush Hush. On Tuesday, it's Valentine's Day, so I'm talking about my 5 favorite video game waifus. And then on Wednesday, it is more BioShock. So be sure to join me for that. And if you're on the Facebook page and my Twitter account, you can stay up to date of what's coming up in the weeks to come. So don't hesitate to follow there. Until then, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys again very, very soon.